The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and give me a call. You can reach me right here at 877-927-6648 with any of your questions about stocks, futures, forex, ETFs, options, binaries, and Nadex spreads. And that's 877-927-6648. All right, so let's check it out and see what all we got going on right now. Look at basically the market roundup. Check how everything is looking across the board. We got the S&P 500 up 12 points right now on the day. We got the Nasdaq up 27.5. The Dow's up 62 with, pardon me, the Russell up 6.5. Gold right now is looking pretty flat on the day, with silver down just basically it's flat as well. And copper. So basically all your metals, not any big moves going on right there right now. Copper probably moving the most out of those. Looking over at corn, we got corn down 7 points. We got soybeans up just a mere 3. Oil is up 65 cents with natural gas up 1%, actually 1.25% right now. We got euro dollar flat on the day from the close on Friday. We got pound dollar up 41. We got Aussie dollar down 14, and we got the U.S. yen up 29 pips. U.S. franc is down 8. And U.S. Canadian is down 17. So sort of a little bit of a mixed bag right there on the dollar. And but it, stronger against some pairs and weaker against others. So anyways, so what does that translate into? Let's see what else is going on over here. Let's check out the news. We don't have a whole lot of news going on this week. Of course, all eyes on the debt ceiling. And so we got to keep that in mind. And let's see, what do we got today? We had Draghi decided to come out and make a little speech. And, rally the troops. He was talking at 9:30 Eastern Time this morning. Looks like he was testifying about the economy at the quarterly hearing of the Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs in Brussels. And so it's always interesting to see what kind of impact these guys have. He's the ECB president, the European Central Bank president, and see what kind of impact they have on the markets. And so I'll go ahead and pull up a chart real quick. I just got to find one of my charts here. One too many screens sometimes. And there we go. So we'll tighten that down and then look on over here. And, also a story right here, just Apple actually dropped below 500 in pre-market hours trading before it decided to do a little bit of a rally. But it did drop all the way down to 496.69 again in the pre-market. All right, so let's check this one out, maximize the sell. And I like to look at 10 minutes if I'm using minute bars. So we'll hop on over the 10-minute chart and sort of see what happened. And not a whole lot. He decided to talk. And let's see, go over here. Let's see, this one is quoting in Central Time right now. And so let's go ahead and look at what 9:30, 8:30 would be the time that he would have started talking. So he started talking right about here. Euro had a little bit of a rally, gave most of it back and pulled on back down. But no significant impact so far, basically on his speech there. And let's see, what do we got going on? Let's see, we had anything last night worth mentioning? The yen, they had the lower house elections, and the Democratic Socialist Party or whatever took over. So it's the conservative side, and they made a big comeback over there. So you can go over and check out just the yen, just look at what kind of impact that had on the currency. And you can see as that came out, and then basically the yen actually did gain some strength against the dollar from those election policies. And I doubt it'll have just a massive impact, but we'll see. It definitely did have a bit of a move. And we're looking at, that's decent size move. 40, 30, 20, 24, so 64 pip drop right there, about 60 pips or so. And on the U.S. yen. And let's see, that's basically the major news from last night. And let's see what else we got going on. Tonight we're going to have the monetary policy meeting minutes coming out of the Aussie. So Aussie dollar right here, I'll pull that up for you. And so again, 7:30 tonight, that'll be your trade to watch if you're a part-time trader. You're looking at those nighttime reports, trying to figure out exactly what it is that you want to do. And a lot of times as a part-time trader trading at night, it can be a little bit hard to figure out the right trades and the Aussie usually has a lot of news happening around that time of night, so it can make it a decent decision to look at that pair as a potential trading vehicle whenever it comes up. And let's see what else we got going on. Let's go ahead and pull it on through. Look at tomorrow. Tomorrow we got CPI coming out of Britain at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and so that'll definitely be one to watch right there. And again, that's 4:30 a.m. CPI. So that's basically the the inflationary number. It's the price that consumers pay for goods, and so that usually can be a decent impact. 20, 30 pips or so, easily off of that. And then looking over at, let's see, sometime they're going to release their inflation letter, but it's not timed. New Zealand dollar is going to have their current account at 445 if you trade New Zealand dollar. And that's it for tomorrow. Wednesday, we got the German IFO Business Climate Report. That's going to come on out, and that's a composite index based on surveyed manufacturers, builders, wholesalers, and retailers. And it's a big leading indicator of economic health and business conditions, and the markets will react quickly to it. So keep that one in mind, 4 a.m. on Wednesday, just getting your trading plan together for the week. And we got the MPC meeting minutes from Britain being released. So not only do they have their interest rates reported, but they're also going to have their minutes released and from the facility votes that come out. So that'll come out at 4:30 on Wednesday. And we got building permits coming out at 8:30. Building permits and new home sales can definitely impact, especially building permits can be impactful on copper, obviously, because they have to use copper when they build houses. And so that can be a possible market to look at, along with, of course, your indices. But 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, we got building permits right here in the U.S. New Zealand's going to have their GDP report come out at 4:45 on Wednesday. And then with the new power and everything coming into place, we're going to have the monetary policy statement and the overnight call rate on the yen will be released sometime. We haven't got the time yet. Will be released sometime Wednesday evening, Thursday early morning. And then they'll have a press conference. Japan will have a press conference after that. So that'll definitely be a yen mover Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And shouldn't be any big surprises, but just with the new electorate and everything else, that could definitely have an impact. Retail sales will be rolling on into Thursday with retail sales in Britain, 4:30 a.m. So if you're an early riser, or maybe you're out on the West Coast or something like that, or like the East Coast or West Coast? I guess East Coast. You have to be a real early riser if you're on the West Coast. Anyways, but we got that. We got core retail sales coming out of Canada at 8:30 a.m. along with the retail sales. And then right here, of course, in the U.S. every Thursday, we got unemployment claims coming out at 8:30 a.m. And let's see, we also have final GDP. It's the weaker of the reported numbers. There's several numbers reported, so it's not really the most impactful GDP. Okay, so the final GDP is not the most impactful GDP number that gets released, unless there's some major change. Okay, so that could have an impact if there's a major change. But beyond that, really should not be the biggest one. It's quarter over quarter. It's reported obviously, it's reported over the year. So even though it's reported quarterly, it's an annualized number. And they just update it. And they have the previous and they have the actual numbers that come out. The preliminary release is, a little bit more powerful. So there are three versions. There's the advanced, the preliminary, and the final. And the advanced is the highest impact. And again, this is the final. So the final is the weakest impact, really. The advanced is the highest impact. And again, GDP is the broadest measure of economic activity and basically the number one leading indicator of economic health. And without GDP, you don't reduce unemployment. And basically, what does it cost to make GDP grow? All right. So, well, GDP is gross domestic product, okay? And it's basically the value of all the goods and all the services produced in the entire economy. And for that number to grow, basically, goods and services have to take place with monetary transactions going back and forth. So pumping money into mortgage-backed securities does not help GDP, which means economy doesn't grow, which means unemployment doesn't go down, real unemployment. I'm not talking about the unemployment rate drops because people stop looking for work or they can't find it. I'm talking about the real unemployment number. So to really impact that number, that money has to go into the economy. And as we all know, the Fed has announced that they're going to go ahead and do an extension. Instead of an Operation Twist, they're actually going to convert it into buying long-term securities. And basically what that means, they don't really make it sound like this, but what it means is they're going to put you, as an American citizen and everyone else along with you, into $45 billion of additional debt every single month. Okay? That's what that really comes right down to. So they're going to add on that debt on a consistent basis. It's really the debt that we take on that we don't even have the right to vote on. So It's the ultimate taxation. It's the hidden tax. And it's the tax that honestly affects the poor more than anything. And but the Democrats are all about that stimulus. So as far as the stimulus and what else going on with all that, Boehner's come back, of course, and I'm sure you've been keeping up on the news, but if you haven't, I'll catch you up. Boehner came back and said, hey, we want to do a 1 million. We will go ahead and raise taxes on people who are making $1 million or more. And we're going to throw one more sweet thing into the pot. And I think this is pretty brilliant on his part, personally. Not that I'm a big fan, but I think this is a pretty brilliant move because it sort of puts the ball a little bit back into Obama's court. And he says, not only will I do that, but instead of us having a knockout, drag-out fight in the next 30 days over the debt ceiling, we won't fight you over the debt ceiling. We'll let you raise it. We just want to go ahead and see equal cuts, but we'll go ahead and say, you know what, that's all we want. We're not going to push for even more. We just want to see equalized cuts. And so we don't have to have a fight. Because Obama's come back going, no matter what I give to you, you're gonna nail me when it comes to this debt ceiling thing. And so he's coming out right away and saying, you know what, we're not going to fight the debt ceiling increase. We're just going to ask for some cuts to equalize it out. And we'll go ahead and agree to the raising taxes. And now what? So... And Obama says, well, that's not enough to make an impact. Well, neither is the 2% on $250,000 or more. So Boehner came up with this big chart, and I thought that was a good move. I wish there would have been a lot more coverage of it. But he came up with a big chart, and he's like, okay, here is all the debt we're taking on. Here's all the expense that we have. And here's the impact of 2%. The 2%, $250,000 people or more paying higher taxes. And it was like, nothing. It was like just a sliver. So it's like, when you go to a sushi bar or something like that, and they slide off a little bit of that sushi there, sashimi there. It's like just a sliver. So, no impact whatsoever. So, it's obviously not about dollars. Don't say you're concerned about how it's not really bringing more money in when you're asking to spend more money. Because he literally is putting in there, I want to spend more money. I want to raise the debt ceiling. I want to take on more debt. And I also want to have stimulus spending for long-term unemployment, construction projects, and things of that sort. So, obviously, it's not about money. It's pure politics at its finest, which, of course, is at its worst. But I think it's pretty smart by Boehner to come back and throw that back in his face and say, hey, we're not even going to fight you over this. So, and what that does really, even though it's not necessarily what the Republicans want, it shows, hey, we bent on allowing a tax increase. We're going to go ahead and work with you on the debt ceiling issue. Get that out of the way now so people aren't worried about it. And so, what do you want to do? And what that does for the Republicans, it helps them not fight too much because at least it's $1 million and up. It also gives them a year to recollect and figure out what their game plan is going to be for next year when the debt ceiling debate comes up and how hard they're going to push it and what they're going to do and what they're going to stand for as a party. Because, of course, at that time next year, that's where we're going to find who they are as a party for the following election to see if they can try to gain control of the Senate or not. So, or lose control of the House, maybe. Who knows? But, so I thought it was a smart plan. We'll see how it turns out in the end. But I guess we're always waiting to see how it turns out at the end. But let's see here. So that's final GDP. Let's go ahead and move on forward. We got existing home sales coming out at 10 a.m. on Thursday, along with the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. So a lot of home sales reports coming out this week. Both of those 10 a.m. on Thursday. Stay there, folks. We'll be right back after this break.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Happy holidays from TFNN. Our most rewarding Tiger Dollar sale is back this December at TFNN. Normally, we offer only a 10 to 20% bonus on Tiger Dollar purchases, but through December 19th only, when you purchase Tiger Dollars to spend on any of our products, you get a 25% bonus on your purchase, and up to 10% of whatever you spend will be donated to the Salvation Army in your name. You'll receive a personalized thank you letter directly from our local Clearwater Salvation Army administrator in appreciation of your donation. Tiger Dollars can be used on any of our newsletters or subscriptions, never expire, and are fully transferable. Take advantage of our most rewarding Tiger Dollar sale of the year right now. Visit TFNN.com for all the details and to make your purchase today. Happy holidays from TFNN.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And just wrapped up talking about the fiscal cliff talks and everything else, and I'm talking a little bit in the Tiger's Den about all the gun control issues and everything else out there, and our hearts, and send a white light out definitely to all those families. And I can't even imagine. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and so I'm just sitting there, just pretty dazed whenever it came out. And so definitely send your prayers out and hopes out for them, and just tough stuff out there. And so whether it be at schools or in the markets. So but obviously that's much heavier. Moving on forward and looking at what we got. Let's wrap up the week here. We got the current account, and that's coming out of Britain, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time there. That's going to come out current account of Britain, so pound-dollar trade on Friday. That's the difference between their imported and their exported goods and the income flows and transfers and everything else. And usually they're off on that number, so it can have a pretty decent impact on the current account on Friday. And they also have their public sector net borrowing. They're off on that one as well. They both come out at the same time. So just those numbers being off can't help there be a nice volatile move. And then going on forward to wrap it up, we got the core CPI, Canada, 8:30 a.m. We got GDP from Canada, and we have the main CPI, the one with automobiles, also at 8:30. So a lot happening coming out of Canada reports. So you got USD, Canadian dollar, definite trade, 8:30 a.m. on Friday. And then we have the core durable goods and core PCI price index and durable good orders and personal spending all coming out of the U.S. at 8:30. So what do you think might be a volatile pair Friday morning at 8:30? USD Canadian, because we are releasing, and we're releasing 4 reports. They're releasing 3 reports all at the exact same time. So how in the world do you trade something like that? Okay? Actually, we have 5 reports coming out. How do you trade something like that? Well, the way I like to trade stuff like that is Nadex. And let me show it to you real quick. Show you where to get access to it and where to learn more about it. Hop on over. Just go to TFNN.com. Okay? And, just to highlight real quick, check out the Tiger Dollar Holiday Special right now, 25% off. And they're going to send a portion of your donation to the Salvation Army in your name. So it's a great deal right now. It's the best deal I think I've ever seen. It may be the best deal ever. I don't know. But it's the best deal I've ever seen on TFNN. So definitely check that out for your subscriptions and everything else. It's a great deal. It's a great time. It's a sell. One of the heard a funny joke this past week. The guy was talking about how he's really good with math. I mean, he just looks at things and he can do like complicated math in his head. And his wife's like, I have no idea how you do that. And he's like, oh, sure you can. He's like, let's just take sales for instance. He's like, you want to buy something for $100 and it's 25% off. So. What is the value? And she's like, that means it's a good deal. Good deal. That's how I calculate that. And he's like, okay. And he's like, okay, what if it's 50% off? And it's $100, 50% off. Tell me what that is. And she's like, oh, that means it's free. He's like, what? Is that free? Because you buy one, you get one free. So it's free. And he's like, okay. And he's like, well, what if it's 75% off? He's like, oh, now you're making money. Because once you buy one, you got one free, and 25% more is in your pocket, so you're making money. And so that was how she did math. And I think that's how our politicians do it, too. But anyways, check out the Tiger Doll Holiday Special. They do have some great deals. They are knocking the prices down with you getting that 25% bonus match and also contributing towards a good cause, helping people in need for the holidays. And if you haven't, looked somebody up, I definitely suggest, you find a family, find somebody, find some sort of, tree at the mall with some kids looking for a bike or something and, give back. So there's nothing more important than just giving. And I think this is the best time of year to remember that. Hop on over to, so let's go ahead and talk about how we trade this crazy U.S. Canadian dollar on Friday. What could you do? How could you take advantage of this and just not get hosed? Okay? Because you got 7 reports coming out at the exact same time. Well, the way that you could do that is hop on over to Nadex and go to TFNN.com. On the right side, you're going to see the Nadex banner in the top right corner. Click on Nadex, and then they have all sorts of cool things going on right now. But to get started, what you need to do is you need to open a demo account and a live account. Okay? So open a demo account. Let's go to Our Products, click on Demo Account, fill in your username that you want, your first name, your last name, your phone number, and your email address, and click Apply for Demo. And in like 15 seconds, from beginning to end, what's going to happen is they're going to send you a password, and then you can log in right away, and you can get access to the demo account. And so, you want to do that first. You want to get that demo account going. And after you do that, then you want to go over and you want to log in. And so now you can log in under the demo section. Now you also want a live account. And there is a trick on getting your demo account extended. If you want to email me at dmartin@tfnn.com, I'll let you know what it is. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this break.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And now we're checking out some other things going on and what's happening in the market. So now let's go ahead and, like I said, once you get that demo account set up, your next step, click Create Account and get funded. It only costs $100, or it didn't cost anything. You only have to deposit $100 into your account to get started. So click Start, and then you can fund the account and literally start to fund it in as little as 5 minutes, only $100. Advantages of a live account over a demo account. One, that, like I said, email me. I'll let you know if you do both how to actually get the demo account extended. But the other one is the live account actually is looking at live information. The demo account is looking at live information, but it also takes into account demo trades placed. So people place crazy trades. They have $25,000. And if they do any updates, they may update them in demo first and then live second. And so you may see different strike prices or something like that, a little bit different. I mean, it really is so small that you wouldn't even know unless you're really, trading actively. But, you definitely want to get that live account going. And once you have it up and running, then you can start trading. And I mean, you could literally start trading in 5 minutes. Before the show's over, you could place your first trade if you wanted to. And if you're into, or you're wanting to get into, or you have been into, or maybe you were in it before and you were burnt, or, who knows. But if you want to trade, gold, oil, natural gas, copper, silver, let's see, corn, soybeans, euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, euro yen, pound yen, U.S. yen, U.S. franc, U.S. Canadian. If you want to trade the S&P 500 E-minis, the Russell 2000, the Dow 30, the NASDAQ 100. If you want to trade the FTSE, if you want to trade the Nikkei, if you want to trade the DAX. So if you want to trade any of those markets, then you can do all of those in one single account on Nadex. So why would you choose Nadex over something else? Because you can limit your risk. Okay? And, well, limit risk. Well, yeah, I can do it with a stop loss. Well, yeah, but you get stopped out. Okay? You don't get stopped out. If your stop gets hit, you're in. You're in until the trade's over. You're in. And now you can get out anytime you want to, of course. But so if you're up $100 and you want to get out, whatever. If you're up 1,000 and you get out 1,000, get out. But you don't have to get out. And so if you go in and your risk is $50, your risk will never go above $50, no matter how far the trade goes against you. And until the trade expires, which could be anywhere from minutes to the end of the week, you have time to be right. So it's depending upon what contract you choose. And they have two different things. They have binaries and spreads. And I like trading both of them. So they're both a lot of fun. And spreads are a lot more like trading futures, trading Forex. And maybe you're an ETF trader. So if you trade like the IWM, or if you trade the diamonds, or if you trade the spiders, maybe trade the Qs, whatever, then, this is definitely something you want to check out because your money works a lot harder for you. Smaller move, larger profit, okay, based on dollars invested. And, for instance, I had a trade this morning I put on. Let's see here if I can open this up. I'll just show you. I put on a trade this morning. It was a really small trade. It wasn't anything significant. I was just doing a little lesson with somebody. And I entered in the trades. Oh, open up the thing so you can see the full details here. All right. So I entered at 9:50 in the morning. And by the way, this is one of the cool things. Nadex just went in and they added more strikes to their Forex pairs. And we talked about that a couple weeks ago. They put that on. But then they went in and they did one thing even more. They actually made them where they're really tight. So they're only like 10 pips wide. And 5 pips wide, I think, on the U.S. yen. The other ones are 10 pips wide. And so they're really, really tight. And so I went in, and just as an example trade, okay, at 9:50, this trade expired at 10. Now I could have got one that expired at 3, or I could have got one that expired at 3 on Friday or whatever, But I chose one that expired in 10 minutes. And my total risk on the trade, what I did is I bought a binary that said if the Aussie dollar is greater than 1.0545 at 10 a.m., then that trade will be profitable. The risk on that trade was $650, and if I was correct and I held that trade to expiration, then my basically payout binaries are always worth 100 or 0 at expiration. Now, you don't have to hold them to expiration. Okay, you can close them before then. So I could have bought it at $650 and sold it at $50 or whatever. But if I go in at 100 minus 6.5, so $93.50 was my profit potential on this trade right here. Okay? And then, now that's if it closed above 1.0545. Or, like I said, if I closed it out early. I'll put that one on this side. And then on this one right here, I said I sold, which means I'm saying the statement is false. And I know it's probably a little hard to see there on Tiger TV, but it says the contract Aussie dollar 1.0535, like, will be greater than 1.0535 at 10 a.m. I said false, meaning I don't think it'll be greater than 1.0535. And notice I did both of these at the same time, okay? So basically what I'm saying is it's either going to be greater than 1.0545 or equal to or less than 1.0535. And Aussie dollar trading just like, barely in this range. I want to say it was like 1.0539 or something when I put the trade on. And so I go in, and if my risk on the trade is $11.50, okay, I sold it for $89.50. So take 100 minus $11.50. So, or let's see here, yeah. And basically what that shows you is my risk is, $11.50, $17 on this trade. And my profit potential on the trade, okay, or the profit I actually made, because it did expire out of that range, was $83. And take out the fees and have a net $80.30. That's a 472% return in 10 minutes. I don't know if you heard that. 472% return in 10 minutes. Okay? And the Aussie dollar only moved a little bit. What did it move at? 1.0546. So we're talking to move at 6 pips, okay, with a $17 risk. Could have been a $170 risk. Okay? And if it was a $170 risk, I would have made $130. But you're talking about a 470% return in 10 minutes. I don't know where else you're going to do that. And I can't get stopped out. I could have bought it. I could have just sold. I could have done both. I straddled it. And very low risk. And the cool thing is, since they tighten these strikes and they're only 10 pips wide, you can go in there like at a short time before and you can put it on. Now, you can also go in an hour before or 5 hours before or, whatever. But, well, I guess 2 hours before, because they're 2 hour wide ones, the intraday ones that are 10 pips wide. And then I think they go wider, as you go further out in time, the strikes get wider. But by adding in these 10 pip wide strikes, you have a lot of opportunities. And the biggest opportunity for these, of course, is around news. Okay? So, like on Friday, we talked about 7 reports are coming out on the USD Canadian at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. That might be a time you want to check out doing a straddle on these binaries. Just demo it, whatever. But you can do a straddle on these binaries that expire in a very short period of time, like say they expire at 10 a.m. Okay? So you go in at 8. You buy one buy one above and one below that expires at 10. And let's say you risk, $15 on each side. So you have a $30 total risk if it moves up or down, like, 5 ticks or so. Closes up or down 5 ticks or so. And then you have a potential to make $70. And again, you don't have to hold it. You could let it get to like 60 and get out, which would be just above your strike or just below your strike. It'd be worth like $60 or profit. And so you can go in there and close that trade out. So there's a lot of things you can do with these. There's a lot of ways to trade them. And, they just keep adding. Basically, they added more opportunity. And that's what they talk about. Multiply your trading opportunities and limit your risk. And that really is what Nadex has done. And they've just done it once again by adding in all these additional strikes. And I'll log into Nadex. I'll show you this, these strikes and how they're so tight. 1 second here. Let me get in. All right, almost loaded. And then once that's up, I'll be able to show you the different strikes and how they work. And let's see here. Put it all together. Let me try one more time here. I think I hit the wrong button. All right. And log in. And here we go. I'm going to show you how to place a trade. We'll just throw one on the demo just so you can see how it works. Oh, that's what's going on. It's upset that I'm trying to log in twice in the same browser. All right. All right, so I have a trade on like right now that I did. I threw this trade on just earlier, and just on the algo seasonal trade I have on the US Canadian is usually higher today than it is basically higher after 11 o'clock or after 9:30, either one. And so at 11 a.m. I went in, I looked for the at the money trade, and then I bought the at the money binary, and basically put like about $50 at risk, and it's up about $35 right now. So it's it's doing well. It'll expire out here in like an hour and 15 minutes, and I'll realize max profit on the trade. And I put that trade on. I've walked away. I don't do anything with it. I'm not worried about it. My risk is capped. So that's one example. But let's see here. Another example. Let's see. Let's log out of that one. Let's come over here. Let's see if it'll let me log in. I want to throw a trade on like on the... What I wanted to show you right here is this. See how there's 10 strikes in here? Okay? Or 9 strikes, I mean. Look how tight they are. Like 10 pips wide. Okay? And so you could go up here and you could risk $4.50 and you could risk $4 like on USD Canadian. All right? Which is ridiculous. And so your risk here combined is $8.50. All right? That's your total risk. Your payout, if you have $8.50 and your payout's going to be at most $100, okay? Then you could put that trade on, $100, $8.50, $91.50. So you make $91.50. There's no commissions. You do pay exchange fees. Exchange fees are 90 cents a side, okay? But if I bought and I sold, and let's say it went up, then the sell one, I actually wouldn't have to pay an exchange fee on the exit, okay? And the exchange fees are actually capped to $9. So if I do 10 contracts, 10 contracts, it's $9 because it's 90 cents times 10. But if I do 100 contracts, it's also $9. It doesn't go up. So it's a very, very nice benefit that they have that they've built in there. And looking over here at like USD CAD right now. So this trade is saying is that at 2 o'clock, which is obviously a very short, 15 minutes from now, that it'll expire either above 98.54, okay, or below 98.34. And right now it's at 98.47, so we're right in the middle of that. And so basically we picked like 10 strikes above, 10 below there. Not quite 10, but almost 10 above and below. And so you can put that trade on. If it expires outside of it, then you made an absolutely insane return in a very short period of time, in a matter of 15 minutes on the trade. And so these are constantly available. And the way that you do it is you literally just go in here, like I'll just place this trade, and just hit place order, okay? And so now the trade's been submitted, it's in there, and now I have that long and short on. I'm risking, what is it? $8 or $9 or whatever, 50 cents. Let's see here. Total risk is $8 on the trade. All right. And it's pretty cool. They're limit orders, so whenever you put an order in, it means at this price or better. So if you put it in at a higher price, it'll actually fill you at the best possible price. So if there's actually a better price, and like in that example, I was saying 50 cents, but notice we didn't have to pay the 50 cents because there was a better price available when it came in. But so now if this thing drops down a little bit, then, before 2 o'clock, or if it goes up a little bit, then you can make some money on it. Now, I mean, USD Canadian is usually pretty flat right about now, so I would be pretty shocked if it actually did move that many pips that fast. But if it does, then, great, and make some decent change on it. So, and there's even a lower one, 98.44 now. So there's a 98.44, and that one, let's see here, if it expires below it. Now, that's possible. That's not that far away. Check this out. This is a $6 loss, $94 profit potential. I'm going to go ahead and do that trade also, and put that one on. So now this one's sort of in the middle. All right. Very low risk. I mean, I'm only risking $4. All right. If the USD Canadian drops 3 pips, settles 3 pips from where it's at right now, okay, then that trade will make $96. And we're talking 3 pips in 15 minutes, okay, 13 minutes. So I'm not saying that, this is going to be your whole trading plan for survival. This isn't how I trade to, thrive and make income. But it is a fun way to trade as long as you keep it in check. But, the smarter way to use these, the more intelligent way on a consistent basis, is to use them around news. You go in with a very low risk. You do expect a 10, 20, 30 pip move on a news announcement, and you could use that to actually get in and get out. So that's why I said you want to build it really around news. I'm just, showing you a live example. Okay? So now if we're looking at news, how would you do it around news? So that way you're doing it as a trading system. That way you can build an actual trading plan to make consistent income and, make a living. So, because you're not going to do it just by throwing on, $4 risk trades. Okay, that's an easy way to burn out your account if you only have $100 in there. But it's pretty cool just to show you. I'm wanting to give you an example of how it works. Okay, so how would we do that? Well, the way I would do it is I'd go in and I'm going to pull up my deviation levels. Okay, and on the deviation levels, we'll go in here and let's see here. Let me pull it up and show you exactly how this works. And once I show you, you'll see that you can actually do this with a trading plan versus simply a game. And works very, very well. So for me, I like it a lot. And it's amazing how fast your account can grow. Anyways, all right, so I'm logged in now. I'm going to pull up the deviation levels over here. And then we're going to check out, like what kind of news reports. So these are the deviation levels. They're actually based on yesterday's settlement price. Okay, the pit close or cutoff time for Forex before it rolls. And we post that in there, and a 1 deviation is basically how far you expect the market to move at most, plus or minus 1 deviation in a given day. Now, it could move more, but I really don't expect it to move more than a deviation, okay? And you use this for take profit zones, everything else. It's actually the best take profit method I know of. And the way the levels actually come from using implied volatility, the expected movement out of the options prices. And so it's not some pivot formula or some standard deviation historical number. It's actually implied volatility factored into the number. So it's how far the market expects the market to move. And basically one of the most accurate ways I know how to trade. So there I'll show you exactly how to apply this to news when we get right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at directionshares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. What we're going into right now is just looking at the deviation levels and how to use those as part of your trading plan. And so when you go in, and a news announcement's about to come out, you want to find the closest deviation levels you can that may be like half a deviation apart, okay? And so when you go in there and you're looking at euro dollar and, you know, or whatever, let's say Aussie dollar, like 7:30 at night, okay? And so I'll pull up an Aussie dollar chart here, and we'll check that out real quick. All right, we got Aussie dollar, okay? And on the Aussie dollar report, it's opening up. Let's see here. Pull it all. We'll get the deviation levels and everything on there at the same time. All right. So Aussie dollar news is coming out, you know, earlier, you know, 7:30 at night, whatever. And so you actually are looking to get strikes around these deviation levels. And notice how it went down to one deviation perfectly today. and which is how far you should expect it to go before it reverses. And it did go down or goes flat, so it's not always a reversal. But it did go ahead and pull down, literally hit one deviation, oscillated there for a while, literally about 3 hours. It hung out there, and then moved on back up. So, one deviation. So that's your perfect mark. So what you're looking for is those deviation moves that are close to the strikes on Nadex. So whenever you're over here and you're picking out the Nadex, if we go here to Aussie dollar, and right here, you can go to the 2-hour ones, or you can go to daily ones, or whatever. And so when you check those out, you can find those strikes that are near it, and you can use those to your advantage when reports come out. And now the intradays come out, they start up in the morning at 8 a.m. So you can't use those like at nighttime, but you can use the dailies at night. And I do use them. So they're great to use on that. You can use it at night for doing trades. But you can use the 2-hour ones as soon as the morning comes around. And there is, as we all know, a ton of news that comes out in the mornings. And 8 a.m. Eastern time. And so you can buy the deviation levels with the strikes. And you have a probable move with a guaranteed report that's coming out that usually has an impact to make it move one way or the other. So if you do a straddle, up or down, then as long as the market moves far enough, then you can make money on the trade. And one of my favorite strategies is actually to put a straddle on, to buy below and sell above, but actually close when it hits the strike. So I'm not like holding it all the way to expiration, but I'm closing it when it hits there. So if I went on and I did some trade and I bought at 1.0570 and sold at 1.0550, or whatever, I guess in this case 1.0550 and 1.0540, if it hit either strike, then I would close down the trade. Okay? And you can have a lot of wrong trades and actually still be right. Some of the best traders in the world actually aren't right that often. They just make a lot more when they win than when they lose. And ideally, you can combine both. You can make a lot when you win, and you don't lose too much when you lose, but you're right more often than not. And you put all those together, you're making a whole lot of money. And so you put all that together, but this helps you with that because you define your risk. You can make a lot more money when you're profitable than when you're not. And you have the ability to, change your probability of profiting, like a move up and a move down, not just a move up. So, and you can't get stopped out, which does increase your probability of not losing, not in the case of being right, but in the case of having time to be right, because it could go against you and then come back. So, just want to really, get your mind thinking about different ways to use Nadex and start playing with it. And, that's what the demo's for. Start playing with it. It is new to most people. And so I definitely highly recommend that you check that out. Also, hop on over to TFNN.com. If you want to get assistance, I can help you out. Maybe you have a trading plan, you're trying to figure out how to make it work with Nadex, whatever. Then I can definitely help you out on that. Go to Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer. Just click on that. You get a free 2-week trial. You get access to the Box Spread Analyzer, which actually analyzes the Nadex spreads live, because we have a live data feed from the Nadex exchange built right into the server on the website. And it'll show you all the different spreads, and you can go in and you can narrow it down and find the best spread in seconds with very low risk and high reward potentials. And it makes it really easy. Also, you get the deviation levels, and you can ask me all the questions you want. And a whole list of tutorials on Nadex, spreads, binaries, and more. So anyways, check that out, 2-week free trial. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you, dmartin@tfnn.com. Y'all have a great day.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.